how my scrap busting turned over 550 scraps into a beautiful quilt. I have been on a huge scrap busting journey this year. It started with organizing my fabric scraps with an amazing method. You can learn about it here. Then designing a Scrappy quilt block and crafting this beautiful Scrappy quilt using over 550 of my scraps in a 21-day challenge. And now I've created a detailed pattern for this quilt that anyone can use their scraps with. Any scraps will work for this quilt. You can use your fabric scraps, your leftover layer cake squares. All the details are in the pattern, and I even have a discount code for you. So stick around as I share the inspiration, the journey, and how your feedback played a huge role in making all of this happen. This quilt pattern is truly a game changer. It was for me, for turning scraps into usable pieces and then into a stunning quilt. I cannot wait to share this with you. It's day 21 of our Embracing Our Scraps Quilt Challenge. Not only have I finished my Embracing Our Scraps quilt, it's totally done, 48 blocks, sashing, cornerstones, borders, quilting, binding, completely finished. Something else has come along that I really didn't even expect to tell you about. So here goes. Let me give you a little bit of a story first, then I'll tell you what I've got special for you in the end. First of all, when I first decided to show you my scrap busting technique, it was the beginning of the year. Everybody's always trying to clear everything out, make sure that we're all nice and neat to start out the new year. So I thought it would be a good idea to share with you my scrap busting system. So here's just a little bit of it. This is the ones that I used for this quilt, my Riley Blake and Lori Holt fabrics. I've got them divided up, my 2.5 inch by 2 inch by 3.5 inch by 1.5 inch strips. They're all here, but I really didn't have it written down anywhere. So that's where I came up with the handout. So I gave you the handout. But then I thought, I want to do a little bit more. So I thought it's okay to have a scrap busting technique that you use to take care of all your scraps, but just having them in boxes and bins and on shelves makes absolutely no difference if you're not using them. The pieces are already cut into usable scraps, so I thought I need to come up with some kind of a pattern to give to everybody. So I came up with the Embracing Our Scraps pattern, and here it is. This was a foundation pieced pattern that I thought was really fun, and it used up the pieces that I cut in my scrap busting system. So that worked out really well for that. But then the more I thought about it, I thought I need to do a little bit more. We can't just make a bunch of blocks. We need to put it into a quilt. So in my scrap busting system, I decided to come up with a pattern. And I did. I gave not only this foundation pattern, but there was a basic quilt pattern to put them all together with the sashings and the cornerstones and all that. And then I thought, I need to do a little bit more. Instead of just giving you that pattern, I needed to put it actually into a quilt. But how do I do that? Because I'm really busy right now. It's the beginning of the year. We have lots going on. So the only way that I thought I could really get this done is to issue myself a challenge. I thought, why not issue you a challenge too? We can do this challenge together. So I was trying to think, what would be the best way to do this? How many days can I actually put into this pattern, into this challenge, and feel like I'm not taking away all the minutes in the day to just do this? So I thought about it. I actually timed how long it was going to take me to do a block, and I came up with the idea I could do 3 blocks in one day. That would be good. 3 blocks in one day. And I figured out how long it was going to take me to do the blocks, add the sashing, put the quilt borders on, and do all the rest, the quilting and the binding and all that. And I really thought it was pretty doable. But don't you know, you have to be accountable. Somebody has to hold you accountable, or it's really easy to just say, I'm not gonna, I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it the next day. I'll get them all done at the end. But I said I was gonna do 3 a day. So that kept sticking in my head that I needed to do that. And the best way for me to do that was to do a video a day, letting you know what my progress was. So I did that. And then I thought, I need to do a little bit more. I felt like I needed to have my quilt with a different border on it. I wasn't crazy about just the single border. And I still had lots of scraps left. I still do. So I thought, okay, maybe I can do a different border. I'll just ask everybody what they think. So I got all kinds of great responses on what I could do with the border and how I could create a scrappy border that wasn't going to be too busy with all of the pieces that were on here. So from all the suggestions, I decided to do this triple border with an inner border, a middle border, and an outer border. And that was really great. And I was really happy with that. And then I had some people that gave me some ideas for color choices when it came to the binding and the borders. And someone said, I think it would look nice with a cornflower yellow. You know, I had never thought of that. That's just never entered my head. And I had some fabric. Now, keep in mind, when I set up this challenge for myself, I told myself I was not going to buy anything. Everything had to come out of my stash, whether it was all the scraps, the sashing fabrics, the border fabrics, the backing fabric, and the binding. It all had to come out of my stash. Also, the batting needed to come out of my stash. Well, that wasn't hard because I have a big roll of batting. But if I didn't have enough, I would have done Frankenbatting, where you piece all the pieces together and put it together, because I was not going to buy anything. So that's how I got started. And as I did that, I thought, you know, I really feel like I need to do a little bit more. Now, keep in mind, this is all happening within a 3-week period. I didn't think of any of this before the 3 weeks started. This is all happening right in the middle of the 3 weeks. So my thought was, I need to give everybody a real live pattern. I need to give them the whole pattern, not just the go ahead and do this and go ahead and do that stuff, but something that has some actual directions, because I've gotten a lot of comments from people basically asking me several things like, I really don't understand foundation piecing. How do you piece that block? Can you do a tutorial on that? Can you tell us what it is that we need to do in order to create that quilt that you have on display? I'm just not sure where to go next. So I thought, oh, a video. I can do a tips video on that. That's easy. I don't have to write it down, and I can just walk you through the process of creating this block. So I did. And I got a lot of good responses from that. There were people that really had not done foundation piecing before, and they liked the idea of following me step by step creating this block. And then as I was going through that, I thought, you know, I just need to do a little bit more. I need to put together a real pattern. I need to put together a pattern that has all the instructions from start to finish, including the foundation piecing steps. Because originally it was just going to be, go ahead and foundation piece that block, come back and I'll show you how to do the borders. But I just didn't feel that was enough. So I went and I put together a pattern. It's long, but it has all the details step by step. If you've done any of my patterns, you know I'm very detail oriented, and I just felt like I wanted you to know all of the steps to create that beautiful quilt. So here is the pattern. When I was almost finished with the pattern, I mean writing it. Now it takes a long time to write a pattern because you have to keep going back over it and making sure you don't have errors when it comes to calculations, formatting, all that kind of stuff. So that takes me forever to keep going back through it and trying to check and make sure it's all correct. So I was almost done. Then on Facebook, one of our Joyful and Merry community members, Kathy Haverdink, posted a picture of her quilt. She had created this quilt with our pattern, but what she said was, I made 36 blocks instead of 48 because I used a layer cake instead. I thought, what a great idea. We have so many layer cakes that we're not sure what to do with. We have leftover layer cake squares. When I open up a layer cake and I see there's about 42 squares in here, and when I use it, I don't always use all of them. So what happens to the extras? They get put in a bin, they get put in a box, and they sit there. And I thought this would be the answer to both. Either a beautiful layer cake that you don't know what to do with, or those leftover layer cake squares, those 10-inch by 10-inch squares that you don't know what to do with. So I contacted Kathy and I said, can I please put your photo of your quilt and the instructions in my pattern? It is so beautiful and I love it. It's a great alternative to the Embracing Our Scraps pattern, just a layer cake option. Well, she was very kind and gracious. She not only said yes, but she sent me her layout, how she cut each one of the squares so that all of the pieces that you need for one block fits on one layer cake. There's a teeny tiny bit of waste, but not very much at all. So she gave me that diagram that I duplicated and I put it in the pattern here as well. So you have all those options. Not only do you have the scrap busting system, which I also put in here if you haven't done that yet. This handout is on the last page of the pattern, but then I have all of the instructions step by step to create this quilt, and then the instructions to put together this layer cake option. This is such a great pattern. And again, the pattern is something that just kept evolving as I read your comments and your suggestions and everything that you had to say about those 21 days. Well, actually 20 days because today is 21. And I am thrilled to actually offer you this pattern as well. It's available on our website in the store, joyfulandmerryquilting.com/store. You can purchase the pattern there. It will go right with the video that we have on YouTube, and the links are all in there. All the templates are here, all the measurements are here. You can create a beautiful quilt that is 56 by 71 inches using your scraps, foundation piecing, and another bonus is for those of you who don't like foundation piecing, because there are people who don't and they prefer to just piece, I have also included all of the templates. So if you would rather not foundation piece and you would rather template piece, those pieces are all here as well. So it's such a bonus, and I am so excited to be able to offer that to you. It again was something that I never thought about doing at the beginning, but the more I got into the scrap busting system, the more I realized we need to take those scraps to a quilt. We don't need to just box them up after they've been cut and put them in a drawer somewhere so that they can get old. We need to use them, and I use them, and I hope you'll do the same. So I thank you for your participation in this challenge. It's not too late for you to do it yet. You can still set some goals for yourself. You can follow along with my 21 days. They're in the shorts section of our Joyful and Merry YouTube channel, and just take a look every day, day 1 through day 21, and set your own goals so that you can sew right along with me. I thank you for joining me, and I am always trying to be joyful, but I will always be merry. Have a wonderful day, and let's get those scraps busted and used.